probably have to limit it to 1 or 2 per person just with the amount of people on the call right now. So we started with Jayce.
Hi, guys. Just, start off. I know there's a lot of chatter, late last night, early this morning, and just happy to answer any questions you guys have. You get up this morning and the storyline's a little bit, different. Wishing it was more on, the 21-year-old, opening the game up, finishing the game, and he had a special night, and just wish that was the main focus. But I know you guys have a lot of questions, and happy to answer them.
Get started with Bob Scanlon, Fort San Diego.
Jayce, at no point have you ever reined Fernando Tatis Jr. in any way, and I'd assume that's not the plan moving forward in any way either. I'm sure that wasn't the intent of what was going on last night.
No, far from it. We've talked about finishing games and finishing teams, and we got to that situation there in the 8th. I think it was Caswell on the mound, and especially in a 4-game set, trying to grind teams down, get in the bullpen, and we got to the count. We were certainly looking to continue to score runs and put that game away. That's something we haven't been great at. So the end of the day, I think Caswell was throwing 8-9 balls. He was struggling in the zone. Tatis was locked in. He did what he was supposed to do with that pitch. He just didn't look down and get the sign. And at the end of the day, I'm happy the 21-year-old missed the sign there and opened up the game. Now there's times going forward. There's going to be games going forward. We've got to be locked into the sign, as all our players do. And when we do miss it, we address it. But looking to put any restraints, that would be insanity. He has the way his play is, the electricity. He plays the game right. He's passionate. He works. He's loved by his teammates, his staff. Those are all qualities that we would never restrain.
Being maybe a different story than what it was at the end of the game last night. Have you had any conversations with Fernando since about what happened?
I mean, we rode home on the bus together, sat right behind me. We talked for 20 minutes, joked around, talked with him this morning, and we're good. I don't know if there's a story that there's going to be a rift or anything like that, but he's an ultra super talented player. I can't praise him enough for just his work ethic and everything he's done. And he just continues to grow. And so I don't know what to say. I mean, he's off and on his way, and we just got to keep him going.
And did you expect the Rangers to throw at Manny on the next pitch? And if so, why or why not? Are you okay with that?
No, definitely not. Not okay. Didn't expect it. I think, it happened, and throughout the year, the beginning of the year, we've had to put a lot of trust in, MLB and the umpires. And so just that whole stuff is just tired, throwing at players and throwing behind them. It's just tired. But we've got a lot of confidence in, the umpires and Chris Young and Nick Hundley and the MLB, to review it. They've been very adamant from the get-go that this won't be tolerated this year.
Jayce, when you see some pretty major names in baseball, Johnny Bench and Reggie Jackson weighing in on this situation, I don't know if you know that they did, but when they had the perception through Twitter that the Padres or you guys in this situation might have been putting limits on Fernando in that situation, if that's their takeaway, what's your reaction to guys like that having that sort of takeaway?
I'd say if we're putting limitations on him, what he's done the first 22, 23 games is even more impressive. again, it was a situation last night to where I thought he was around the zone, Nicasio, by throwing the ball around the zone, not in the zone. And, you know, I think I said it earlier, I probably learned a lesson last night. You know, Tatis went ahead and broke it open. And so I think as far as limitations or any restrictions, as long as he's working, as long as he's preparing, as long as he's being himself, I think he would say he's got a lot of freedoms out there.
Marty Caswell.
Hi, Jayce. Looking back now, does it bother you at all that last night in postgame, Tatis essentially had to apologize for what was a very big night for him offensively?
Yeah, most definitely. I think we as managers, coaches, and people, we should never be the story or really any big part of the story. It's a player's game, 100%. And, you know, for him to have, you know, what was it, 7 RBIs, a laser beam 3-run homer to left, and then, you know, how many guys go, you know, opposite field, grand slam. That to me is the storyline. I think the storyline, you know, the way Zach Davies pitched, Strom comes in, and then we had one of our better just offensive nights, 1 through 9. And so for him having to apologize and for the players to have to, you know, listen to the chatter and not being about them, that part bothers me.
And you mentioned the retaliation against Manny Machado being, you know, a tired part of the game. Or, I mean, for that lack of better phrasing, are baseball's unwritten rules antiquated and stupid and pretty much killing the joy of baseball?
I mean, there's just so many wide opinions on it. What I know is that if we're looking to grow the game, you know, we let the guys play and promote them and go. So, look, are there times for some of the rules and some of the things out there? Absolutely, there are. But we're not looking to break unwritten rules. We're looking to win the game, and we're looking to finish the game off. You know, which again is something I said. We've had some leads and we haven't been able to break it open or push through. And you know, for our team, for the guys to load the bases up, for Tatis to deliver on that, that's finishing the game, and that's the part we should be talking about, in my opinion.
We have time for a couple more questions before Jayce has to go to a meeting. We'll go to Ben Higgins.
Hi, Jayce. One of the storylines that came out of this originally was that you didn't have your players back, which you've made very clear that within the clubhouse you do. But can you see why the people on the outside thought that you didn't have your players back after last night?
You know, it's hard to look at that perception because, you know, being in the clubhouse and the dugout, I feel like we're a very tight unit. I feel like not only do they feel like I and the coaching staff have their back, I feel it's mutual. I feel that they have ours as well. So it is kind of hard to see it from that lens because we're so invested in these guys. So I guess to answer your question, you know, without stepping outside and looking at it from that perspective, yeah, it's pretty hard because believe a lot like in this group, and I think it goes both ways.